So the one that we've been using is handle. Brian's like, yeah, well, that's all good. Brian.
I can't believe they got him to work with that or anything. Poor guy. Oh, warning.
We've missed you, Connor.
Hope to see y'all next week in person.
Knock on wood, socially distanced, my friend.
All right. First off, all the credit to NC State. They came out and were ready to go, and they jumped to a 14-point lead. We always know these games against Big Four competition is going to be challenging. I was proud of the way we came back twice, from 14-0 and then from 35-21. And we really put ourselves in a position to win the game with Jasir's pick six. And then we had the ball and a chance to take the lead, and we had a costly fumble, which, turned out to – we held them to a field goal, but that turned out to be the difference in the game. We had a chance to win it at the end, and we did not execute a 2-minute drill. So, again, I thought in some ways we grew up today. I love how we competed. I love how we fought. I don't like the way how we played run defense. Obviously, if you give up 270 yards on the ground, we really struggled with third downs in the first half. We got that cleaned up in the second half. But again, they outplayed us and deserved to win the game. But again, I think we're getting better. I think we have the makings of a good football team. This team is a work in progress, and we'll get there. But we didn't play well enough tonight to beat a very enthused and energetic NC State team.
Dave, with the secondary problems last week and then the run defense issues this week, is there maybe an overcorrection and trying to iron out too much in pass defense and kind of neglecting the run?
No, Connor. I mean, a lot of those runs were against run-stopping calls. We kind of did some things early that we were soft, and when we saw they were coming out and running it, we were putting our corners on islands. And we weren't doing a lot of double covering. We were putting the linebacker in the box, the safety in the box. They just ran that stretch play, and they got seams, and we missed some tackles. We did not create a new line of scrimmage at all. That's been their bread and butter play for years here. And they got into some formations, and, we never dented it. At times we got reached up front, and then we didn't clean it up at the second level, and just didn't play well.
Dave, I thought the running game was really good tonight. Can you talk about Walker? He obviously had his coming out game, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good player, John. And, he made some really good cuts and had a couple of touchdowns and made people miss and got tough yards when we needed it. I mean, he's really a complete back and good player. And, we need more of that from him. We didn't have any balance last week. And so we came out this week very intentionally and tried to run the ball. And, we had 146 yards on the ground, and Kenneth had most of it. But 3 touchdowns, good player. And, that's something to build off of.
Hey, Dave, Josh Grant, can you tell me, or can you update us on where Donovan Green's at right now? It seemed he left the game early.
He kind of got hit in that one play in his back. He had a bad back bruise and he just couldn't get it loose. So I don't think it's anything long-term, but he really couldn't go back in. And again, one of the bright spots of tonight is I thought Donald Stewart played really well.
What do you take out of a shootout like this when it's like that? I mean, it seemed like 7-on-7 football there for a while. I mean, it's just you got to take both the good and the bad, I guess.
Well, again, anytime you lose, you have a tendency to focus more on the negative. I mean, the positive tonight is, that looked at times like our offense in the past. Sam got into a rhythm. The way Kenneth was running the ball, I think Jaquari and Taylor Marin have done a really good job on the slot. We need to make some plays on the outside. I mean, I don't know how many deep balls we threw tonight, and we didn't make one play on them. We've dropped probably 5 or 6 deep balls now in 2 weeks. And at a certain point, you got to go make those plays. And that's where, some of these younger receivers playing for the first time, that's the step they have to take. I think, 3 and 4 years ago, those were plays that Scotty Washington and other guys weren't making. And then their junior and senior year, they started making them. And then our offense became a complete offense. But right now, we're just not making deep ball. We're not making any plays on deep balls on the outside. And we've got to start doing that, or, the defenses are going to get tighter. It's going to become harder to run the football.
Dave, where did things go wrong in the 2-minute drill?
We just didn't. We just had a lot of pressure, and guys weren't getting open, and they were doing a 3-man rush and getting pressure, and Sam was stepping up, and I think we took 1 or 2 sacks in the 2-minute drill, and usually you can't overcome 1 sack in a 2-minute drill, let alone 2. You can't get sacked in a 2-minute drill, but when it's a 3-man rush, your protection's going to have to hold up a little bit to give guys time to get open and find seams and sit in zones. And we didn't hold up enough to allow that to happen.
Hey, Dave, can you walk us through that series of events into the first half where it's 3rd and 14 and you get the big pass play in the middle of the field, and then it's an illegal formation, and it seemed like you run the same play. Is that right?
It was not the same exact play, but a similar play. There's a lot of plays that we run that if center field's open, that we're going to have the ability to bend it across the middle like we did. It was a very similar play, and it was a good ball, good catch, good protection. And, after being down 14-0 to get in 21-21 at the half, it was just their ability to run the football was the difference in this game. When we had to, we didn't get off the field enough. They controlled the line of scrimmage. We both ran the ball well, but they ran it really well. They ran it for 270, and there's a lot of things you can do on offense when you can run the ball for 270 yards.
Dave, you talk often about the middle eights, and today you kind of stretched that a little bit because you got the ball back with about 6 minutes to go in the first half. Walk me through that drive, and it seemed like you even kind of slowed down the pace to make sure you got that last drive.
We did, and even then I thought we left too much time on the clock. I think we got the ball back with about 6:30, and at that point you're going to play normal. And then once we had it in the tight red zone and there was 3:30 left, they had an injury, and so you get a 40-second clock and you get a 40-second play clock and game clock. And at that point, we really tried to wind it down. I didn't want to score with 1:20 left, 1:50 left, and give them a 2-minute drill.
Dave, I know this is 2 games in, but what's your level of concern with the defense right now?
I'm very concerned. Going into it, I really thought that would be the strength of our football team. And, we were a little young and short at corner, but that didn't hurt us tonight at all. You have all those guys coming back on the D line and all those linebackers coming back. And, this is a team a year ago that we didn't run the ball against us at all. And so, our run fits, and we just, right now I'm very, that right now is problem number 1 that we got to get fixed.
Do you find, Dave, it was difficult to prepare for what you were going to see tonight, considering the new OC, the new DC, and not really having tape with this personnel and this staff?
More so the offense. Defensively, they ran a lot of the 30 stack stuff a year ago. And so, we had a pretty good idea what they were going to do. Offensively, it was a hard prep. NC State, Texas, things they've done in the past. There were some carryovers, but, we studied a lot of North Carolina State film, and we watched every Texas film from last year. And, it was a very difficult prep.
Dave, how do you weigh with the defensive struggles? How do you weigh maybe not having as much contact
As a normal year and trying to play it out as when the guys will get to the point where they're at a comfortable point tackling and contacting?
Kind of like, in camp, the only contact we did less is we had one less scrimmage. We just, we usually practice in uppers. We usually don't go to the ground. When you compared last year's camp to this year's camp, the only difference in contact was one less scrimmage. And now we've got a game under our belt. So that in my mind, shouldn't be an issue. They moved us and they made us miss. And, we tackle a ton in practice and, fit things up. And we were just in bad body position.
Considering who's next on the schedule, how concerned are you about just the sheer health of your team when you see a lot of plays are run the night and it seems like every other drive there's somebody down getting looked at?
Yeah, I mean, we came out of it pretty healthy. I mean, some of it was just cramping or, bruises, things like that. I don't think there's anybody tonight that's not going to be able to play next week. Now obviously we got to go through the 3 COVID tests. But I'm not that concerned about that. We came out of this pretty healthy. I think I get more concerned mentally. This year's different. It's every single week, except one, you're playing an ACC football team. And so there's no easing into the schedule. There's no, your early FCS game, a group of 5 game. There's none of these games that you can kind of ease into things and get a lot of guys on the field and get them playing time. These first 3 games and when the schedule came out, and this is murderer's row. And so we just got to, this level of competition, we've got to make sure that this makes us better. This will make us a better football team because you cannot ever not show up or not have a great week of practice. And we'll end up in a better place because we're going through this. But, this was a team that I anticipated we'd have some growing pains with this team. When you replace what we did in the O-line, when you replace what we did at corner, at receiver, all the new skilled guys, this is a team that I just got to make sure that the trajectory of it is consistently up and that we just don't get discouraged.
I know you've said that you've lost sleep on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays because of the COVID testing. Have you found through a few weeks in you've gained more confidence in the actual protocols?
I've always had confidence in the protocols, but you don't know how these guys get it. If a kid from, it's such a amoeba of a virus that you don't know how it can get into your program. And when you read the coach at Florida State has it, and, it's scary. So, we've done a really good job with it. I'm really proud of our players.
Brian.
We were not down anybody
It's a good look like the offensive line
with COVID or contact tracing.
Pretty well. How would you evaluate?
Now the goal is to try to get next week and be like that. And I'll probably be more concerned on the bye week about that than any week.
Dave, you talked a little bit about the mental aspect of it. Was it good that some parents got to be at the game? Did the guys kind of look up and kind of look for their parents? Did that help a little bit, you think?
Yeah. Just to have, and first of all, thanks to NC State for giving us 100 tickets. That was a very classy gesture on their part. It's not something they had to do. They just could have kept all 350 for their team. And for them to give us 100, I want to thank Dave Doran and Boo Corrigan and their administration that was a first-class thing to do. And I think our players appreciate that their parents were able to watch them. And, hopefully we can have 250 next week and we'll give 100 to Notre Dame. And, and hopefully as this goes on, we can get at some point that maybe, a quarter or a third of the fans can get in there. All right. You guys good?
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for your covering us. We appreciate it.
Does anybody know what players we're getting?
What was that, Connor?
Does anybody know which players? Like who's?
I have no clue. I was never asked.
All right, should be good.
Got Sam Hartman whenever you guys are ready. Sam, you threw to 8 receivers tonight. I think I counted. Is that kind of what you had in mind, for this season?
Yeah, I think all across the board, guys had to step up this year. Obviously, we lost Sage and lost all the explosive guys we had last year. And I think they did a great job. I think you just got to hit throws, and that's that. But I think a lot like Nolan Grill coming in and that last drive, hadn't played all game, made a catch. And it's hats off to them for just staying ready. And, guys are, not just, tuning out whenever they're not named a starter. And, we had, guys are going to go down, and, guys stepped up. So I'm proud of them for that.
Sam, just your thoughts on getting down early, and it just seemed like the points on for NC State were just piling up. And did you feel any pressure to get the offense going after getting down 14-0?
I think we knew what we had to do, and I think we did a great job of executing. When we were down, but we got to execute the whole time and not get to that point where we have to come back from such a deficit. But our defense kept us in the game, and we got to win those. We got to win those 2-minute drills like we always do, and really we just got to get ourselves. It starts with me. Just got to hit throws. Missed a lot today, and it falls on me. So same old Wake Forest quarterback missing throws and Wake losing games. So can't really do anything about it.
Sam, the offense really got going there. It seemed like in the first half with behind Kenneth Walker. What did he mean to your offense tonight in general?
He's a special player. It's fun to watch him run the ball, and so is Christian, and it's a great duo. You got kind of two just prolific backs that just make plays, and really proud of him of stepping up and really taking that one running back role. He just makes guys misses and makes everyone right.
Sam, where did the 2-minute drill to end the game, where did that go awry, do you believe?
I missed that last throw, and basically that's it. We really shouldn't have been even in that spot. You just got to hit throws, and there's a lot missed. Like I think every deep ball I threw today was off, and you just can't do that in this league. And you watched us last year; we torched them on deep balls, and we just didn't do that today. So they could play closer and tighter, and just wasn't a threat. So it just again reflects on me, and you just got to hit throws, and you got to hit the deep balls and give them a chance. And I just didn't do that today.
I think that last ball was on like 4th and 24. So obviously some things kind of went awry before then. Were you not getting enough time in the pocket? Were guys not getting open?
No, I think we had enough time, and we shouldn't have been that backed up. Like I think it's just getting the ball out faster, and our offensive line started with Juergens, just second career start, had an amazing game, and all across the board, Javiante Nash just stepping up, Zach Tom, Sean McGinn, Loic Nye had all just stellar game, and it again there's gonna watch the tape and guys gonna be open, and I just didn't hit those. So
after 2 games, is it safe to say that you've got a pair of slot receivers you can count on?
Yeah, no, they're special players, and they've really bought into the fact that hey, maybe they're not the one guy, but they just got to be ready to go. And I'm excited for them because they both have a lot of growth and development still left to do, and I think they have a big year ahead of them.
Sam, it's been a really long time since you guys have lost one of these Big 4 games. Coach Clawson says that these games mean a lot to you guys. So as an in-state guy, how much does it hit you now falling short the way you did?
We're disappointed all across the board, especially leaving stuff on the field and just missing throws. I feel like I keep saying the same thing, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. And again, it's a 1-week season, and we got to. We're not high. We can't. There's no hiding this year. There's no gimme games. So we got Notre Dame coming to town, and we just got to prepare for them. But obviously, very disappointed and very frustrated. Watch the tape, learn from, and all you can do is play the next play and play the next game.
Sam, what does it take mentally from you and the offensive unit to continue to come back from those deficits as you did?
It's just, the confidence that we know what we're doing, and maybe the first drive, second drive doesn't go well, but, we trust the system, trust Coach R, trust our coaches, and, trust each other is really the biggest thing. We're close group, and, guys believe in me, I believe in them, and, we just take it one. Coach R kept saying, you just got to take it one play at a time, and we'll bounce back, and as we did. We just didn't sustain it enough.
Sam, Coach talked about mentally just keeping you guys together after, the first 2 games, dealing with everything you're dealing with the pandemic. What do you do? How do you do that with as a leader on the offense, just kind of keeping the guys mentally sharp and moving forward towards Notre Dame?
I think we just keep reminding them it's a long season, and you never know. We could be a 2-loss team playing in the ACC championship, and we just gotta. It's the next game, and you can't rewrite history, and so we just got to keep playing. And sulking on this loss isn't going to do us any good. It's you take this hour and a half bus ride to think about it, but then once we get off, it's on to Notre Dame. There's no hiding there. It's go time. We're good. Appreciate it.
Jasir, tough loss. Your initial thoughts after the game?
I think we played really hard. We had energy the whole time, whether we were down or up. But just playing hard is not good enough. We got to seal the deal, especially in wins like that. We practice 2-minute. We've been in fourth quarter situations. Like, this is what we do. We just had to come out with the win, and we didn't do that.
The pick six seemed like it turned momentum for you guys. What did that mean for you to be able to do that? And you put the finger up on your way in. I know that was just a big moment for you in the defense.
Yeah, it definitely was a big moment in the game. A couple drives before, I let up a touchdown, and I owed it to my team to get it back. And as a captain, shifting the momentum as that, and making sure that the energy on the sideline was up was a great time.
This year, what's the level of concern for the defense as a whole right now? I mean, last week was kind of Trevor Lawrence and the passing show, and this week I think almost 300 yards on the ground. What's going on there for you all?
We just got to put it all together. 1 week is the secondary, 1 week is the run support. We know we can do it. We have flashes where everybody's clicking on all cylinders, but once we put it together, I think we'll have a great defense.
Is it maybe a factor of it would be together if there had been a normal build-up to the season and you wouldn't start with 2 ACC games? Like, if you had a couple games like we're on the schedule initially, you feel better about where y'all are?
Can you say that again? You're kind of breaking up.
Would you feel better about where the defense is as a whole if you guys had a normal build-up to the season and the normal schedule rather than the COVID-19 affected?
I mean, yeah, obviously we'd like to have those games, out-of-conference games, just to get a feel for the speed of football for a bunch of new guys who are on the field. But this is the schedule we're faced with, and we have to come to play no matter who's out there each week.
Just here, without seeing the tape, just your sense from what you witnessed and what you felt on the field, was tonight's breakdowns more just physical, or were they communication based? Where did things go awry?
There definitely was some communication errors and misfits. Without watching the film, there was a couple plays that was more physical than others, but it was a little bit mixture of both.
Just here, how do you strike a balance here between knowing that it's only 2 games, it's a 11-game season, and having some urgency to get these things fixed for the next week?
Yeah, we definitely got to move with a sense of urgency if we want to achieve our goal, which is ACC championship. And having 2 losses already in the ACC is tough. So we got to get off the mat and have a big performance next week against Notre Dame.
we'll start with Boogie Basham here whenever you guys are ready, and this will be our last player for the night. Boogie, were you at all surprised at the quarterback that came out there? Were you guys thinking the other guy was going to come out? What were your thoughts going in?
Before the game, there was a tweet that had been sent out saying that the other quarterback wasn't going to play, but he was still available. So it was kind of surprising to going out there and not seeing him. But, we still prepared for the other guy to go in as well.
What's going on with the defense right now?
What'd you say? You broke up.
What's going on with the defense right now?
I feel like we're doing good. It's just a bunch of communication errors that we've definitely done it in practice and preseason. So it's just kind of bringing it from practice to the game. That's kind of, I would say, our biggest problem right now.
Is that maybe some young guys that
When the bright lights go on, they kind of lose what they do in practice?
I feel like I don't feel like it's more of that. I feel like it's just game day. You're nervous. The lights aren't really getting to you. It's just more of you're anxious to play. So it's just going out there and like kind of losing your cool a little bit, I would say.
How do you strike a balance right now between knowing it's only 2 games in and there's 9 more games to play, but also having some urgency to get these things corrected?
We know we're 0-2. That's kind of it's not as good as it's not exactly not what we wanted, but it's kind of what we're dealt with. So it's kind of how we come out next week. Tomorrow we go out, learn the corrections, prepare for Notre Dame, and just prepare each and every week, no different than we do before.
Boogie, the front seven was supposed to be the strength of the Wake Forest offense. Given that, how surprising is it to see the run game of NC State be so effective tonight against you guys?
I feel like tonight, they were a good football team, well coached. It's some stuff they brought out that we didn't see. We kind of adjusted, but it was just things like the stretch plays. Things we kind of worked on all week. But it came to the game, it's like more of them doing it at a better pace than our Scott team does. So they kind of got to it, I would say.
Was their tempo faster than you thought it would be? Is that kind of what you're saying there?
Not the tempo. It's just more of them executing their plays rather than our Scott team did.
Gotcha.
What's the key, Boogie, to kind of rally in this defense and putting up a good stand against the Fighting Irish next week?
I would say it was just us to just come together and not let this loss turn to another one. The defense was very close and tight, so we all can take criticism from one another and the coaches. So I feel like tomorrow we go in there and watch the film and just prepare like we do every week.
Boogie, did you guys think the Jasir Taylor pick 6 was going to be a big turning point?
When he got the pick, we felt like that was a good turning point for us. The energy on the sideline was very good. From then, it's kind of just something you need to feed off of the whole time.
Do you feel like you guys didn't feed off that as much as you needed to?
I felt like we did. Going a couple drives, 3 and outs. It's just more of just going out there and defending the last couple scores they had given up.
You guys all good with Boogie? All right, thanks.
All right.
Yep. And that concludes our team presser. I'll be sure to send it out to all you guys here in a little bit.